folks, and welcome to the Weirdly Random. My name is Steve, and joining me today is my usual and regular co-host, Reilly.
Hi.
How are you, Reilly?
Good.
It's been a while since we have recorded in the studio, but we have, obviously we've been in the studio even together, but not necessarily using it as a studio.
Yes.
Yes. So, but here we are.
Yeah.
It's actually coming together, I think. Mm-hmm. So today we are talking about probably the most painful, most dangerous devices of torture ever designed, ever invented by probably the devil himself. Can you guess what that is? Throw out some guesses.
A guillotine?
A guillotine. Well, no, that's certainly one of those. No, I'm talking about those tiny, small little pieces of plastic that when you need them, one, you can't find them. And when you don't need them and you're not searching for them, you find them under your feet.
Oh,
when
no.
you step on them.
Not my toes.
In the middle of the night, you step on them. That's right. We're talking about Lego bricks. Or I guess more officially, Lego, the interlocking brick system. Isn't that right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, and I think the name comes from, I forget the language, like Leggot, Leggodt. They just combined it and said, you know what, let's just call it Lego.
Oh, you're jumping right into the content. Nice. And so yeah, it's they're from Denmark. And so that's how they kind of put it together there is, in the language there, that's how they come. And it stands for play well, I think, is what the word is.
I think it was like something, then play well.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. Today, I don't actually have any listener feedback for us today to review. It's been a little quiet on the social webs. But hey, we're just starting off, so that's perfectly okay. Not a problem. And really, we don't do this for accolades. We do it as a hobby, and if we get accolades and if folks love our show, that's great too. That's really awesome. Okay, so today we're talking about Lego, and for those, we do have here on the table, and we have a couple of my Lego Ideas set. I do have the first Lego Idea set that I ever bought, and that is the Back to the Future set. I have the Doctor Who Lego Ideas, Ghostbusters Lego Ideas, and the largest Lego Idea set that I have right now is the Lego Voltron, which we will talk about in a little bit here. So anyway, let's talk about the history of Lego. We talked about, the guy who originally did not, and I'm forgetting his name. I really should have put this in the notes. But he was a toy maker, I think, and he was making, there's the infamous wooden duck. Yes,
the wooden...
Christensen was his name. Old Kirk Christensen or something like that, as you're searching this up as my on-air research analyst here. So he started making toys and then developed something that was a little different and went into making bricks, but then to make them actually connect together, it has to do with the tubes that are on the underside, which is kind of neat.
And the things on the top hold into the things on the bottom, I'm guessing, with pressure, so that they won't just fall off or break.
And just the right amount of pressure, too.
Yeah.
So you have the interlocking brick system and these Legos here that connect together, these bricks, and the studs that are on top, which is kind of fun. And it's become a worldwide phenomenon of Lego. And everybody loves Lego, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but it's really just it's become sort of an art form. So there's a whole history of Lego that we could look at. There's the Lego house that's over in Denmark. Billund, I think, is the name of the town. But there's a special that's on Netflix that we've seen a few times called The Toys That Made Us. And one of the things they address in there, one of the episodes, is on Lego. And so why don't you share a little bit about what you remember from that show, and what are some of the things they talk about?
Basically, they talked about some of the things that we just said, but other than that, not a lot. I haven't seen that in a while.
We probably should have watched it again.
Yeah.
We are terrible podcasters.
That's fine, though. Well, we're something, at least. We're a podcasters.
Certainly far from experts.
Yeah.
So they do this special. They talk about all the different sets. They talk about the history. Talk about how Lego almost went bankrupt, and they have the interlocking brick system. They talk about the minifigure. They used to have these larger figures that were really sort of creepy, with arms that move, sort of, and some really strange ones. And then they developed minifigs. What we call now minifigs or minifigures, and totally changed the history of Lego. And now there's all sorts of things that are minifigure style or size, scale, and
then they went down to the minifigures, which are just small.
Sure.
Not even an inch big.
Well, the interesting thing about Lego, and this is what I love about it in general, is that it is not just a building system, right? I mean, there are bricks that connect together that you can make the sets with the instructions that they give you. But generally speaking, or beyond that, I mean, it gives you a freedom and an opportunity to really unlock creativity. I mean, there's nothing you cannot build with Legos. I mean, we've seen all sorts of stuff online and YouTube videos and things like that, people building, and a lot of it from Lego itself, where they've built, there's the Bugatti car that is made entirely out of Technic bricks. I mean, full-size scale, 1-to-1 scale.
Yes. I think it moves.
It does.
And then there's also Bowser.
Yeah, so then there's the big Bowser, King Bowser from the Super Mario series.
Isn't it 20
which
feet?
is pretty awesome.
Is it 20 feet?
They made some
feet?
pretty big ones, particularly for some of the recent conventions and things like that, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, you can build anything from tiny little scale, micro scale, to where you use basically a one stud or one block high figure size, where you can make these huge scales, and then you can make the larger scales where you actually build people out of Lego bricks, not minifig style, but you build these larger people, and then you can actually build anything to, like we said, 1-to-1 scale, like the car, the Bugatti. And I'm probably pronouncing that way incorrectly.
And the Bowser, which is 14 feet tall. 14
feet tall is the Bowser. There's been all sorts of architecture that's been made out of Lego. So really, really phenomenon. And what I love, too, is that now they're making sets geared towards adults. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, they say on the package. In fact, this one here might even say... Well, this Voltron set says
16 plus.
Yeah, age 16 up. But some of the larger sets, like right now, there's some others that are like thousands upon thousands, and more of an art form. They are Lego art based that are 18 plus, which is kind of neat. So anyway, with the system, we'll get into the various sets, and we'll talk about what some of our favorite sets are, and building these things for adults, and how adults have really gravitated towards this. But let me ask you a question, Reilly. Let's see how well your math skills are. You do pretty well in math, and I used to do okay in math, which is a whole nother story that we can talk about, because I was not a good example for how to handle your senior year math class. It was not a good. Don't do what I did. Okay. So anyway, how many combinations can you make using, if you take 6 2x4 bricks? So you have these bricks, 2 studs by 4 studs. They are full-size brick, not plates, right? We have to get our language down here, our nomenclature.
Bricks.
So bricks are the bricks, and then you have plates, which are the little flat pieces. You have smooth plates. You have bricks.
The smooth plates are tiles.
Smooth plates are tiles. See, even goes to a whole nother level. You have studs. Studs are the pieces that are on top, and then you have the one-piece studs that look like little circles and things like that. They're individual pieces. There's all sorts of other phrases that we learn from these things. Studs out and so anyway.
Yes.
If you take 6 of those bricks, and let's say we had 6 red ones here because the example always shows red ones. If we took 6 of these red 2x4 bricks, how many ways can they be combined?
Well,
now, if you were to guess, don't look at my notes.
I know.
If you were guessing how many ways you could combine them, don't Google it. Don't Google it.
I'm not going to Google it.
Okay. How many ways do you think they could be combined?
So let's see. There's 6 8-studded Lego bricks, which are 2x4s. So we take each of those, and there's 8. So 8, and then we multiply that by 6. There's 48. And then different orientations, so and multiply that times 4, 192. Positions, 8.
Okay.
And that's 8 times, I already did 8 times 6. I don't know. I have 192 so far, but I don't think that's it because it feels like there should be a lot more.
Yeah. So rather than trying to do the math, if you were just to pull a number out of the sky, how many combinations do you think it would actually work?
750,000.
Not even close.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm worried.
So the going answer, according to the internet, now the internet is the truth on this. We're going to say the internet is true. Not all things on the internet are true, but we're going to understand this to be the truth of the internet. Okay? The answer to the question, if you take 6 8-studded Lego bricks, how many ways can they be combined? The currently accepted answer is 915,103,765 ways.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think I did something wrong in my math things.
I think you forgot to carry a 1.
I think I forgot to carry at least a 1 somewhere.
Yeah, I think you forgot your remainder or something. Yeah. So
definitely messed something up.
That right now, as of recording right now, that is, and the research I did earlier, that is the currently accepted answer, 915,103,765 combinations if you were to take 6 8-studded Lego bricks that are 2x4. That is insane.
Very much insane.
You know what? I don't think in my entire lifetime of playing Legos, using Legos, building with Legos since I was a wee babby, I don't think I have ever put that many pieces together. I mean, that's an insane amount of bricks and combinations. Like, that is just insane. But that right now is the officially internet accepted answer.
Interesting.
It is. All right, so imagine, and that's just taking those types of bricks. Imagine if you were to take now 8 of those. If you were to take 8 8-studded bricks. Now, I didn't try to figure out the math for that, but the idea is that at that point you're well over a billion. I mean, you're probably because you add that many more factors.
You're adding because there's 2. You're adding times.
Who knows?
Either times 8 and then times 8.
It's a whole nother set of complicatedness. Yes.
Multiply by the stub, so times 8 rotations. You got times 4, and you could have more than one stud. So I'd say another times 8. and then like another 16. I don't know. I at least 100 billion. Most
100
definitely.
billion. I don't know about if it's 100 billion, but there's got to be some sort of calculator out there for us to figure that out. Okay, so speaking of Legos, speaking of using and playing Legos for a long time, I still have my Legos from when I was a kid. My closet is full. I don't have clothes in my closet for the most part. I have Legos. An entire side of my closet is just Legos, sorted by color, actually. And so I have these Legos. I've been playing Legos for a long time. But let's talk about some of the classic sets that we have seen over the years. There are a number of classic space sets. And actually, somebody just recently gave us a whole bin of classic Lego space sets. And actually, I haven't gone through it to the point where I really know what's inside of that. So we should do that as like a special feature. I think we'll take like the camera and we'll open up into this bin, and we'll go through the Legos and see what sort of classic sets exist inside this classic space set. You're motioning to me you have something to point out, but I've been noticing as I've been talking, you've been distracted. So what have you figured out?
So remember how we're talking about 8, right? And I said 100 billion? Way off. This guy on Eurobricks, which is I'm guessing like a Reddit for Lego, he says it's like 8.27 trillion combinations for 8.
If you take 8 studded bricks, it's 8 trillion?
8.27 trillion.
8.27 trillion.
Combinations.
Wow.
How? How do you calculate that? How do you figure that out?
There is, I'm sure, a mathematical equation to figure that out. One thing I can tell you for sure, they did not sit down and try a combination.
Yes.
Write it down, document it, and then try it again. There is no way anybody would live that long to do that. So
this guy says he made a computer program, and he just let it do it, and it said it took an hour to do it all. Anyways.
All right, this math is starting to make my brain hurt.
Me too.
So I started talking about these classic space sets that we have that somebody gave us, and I think I've mentioned this before to you off camera, not recording, but that I think I want to do like a video where we reveal, kind of do like an unboxing of these and kind of see what's in there. I have no idea if all the sets are complete. I know there's some plates in there from what I can see through the bin from the sides, but I'd love to look inside and maybe do a reveal and kind of see what maybe as a special features to this episode. Or
we could like maybe unbox it and try and make a set.
Well, I mean, that would be part of it. I'm not sure how much we'd be able to do, while we're recording or in show, but we could try it and kind of see what happens, Another set that was a classic Lego set was the Yellow Castle set. Very nostalgic. Nostalgic. And I remember, I think in that special that we were talking about on Netflix, they talk about that set.
Yes.
And they didn't want to make it gray because it would seem too medieval.
Too gloomy,
Too gloomy. I guess. Nobody wants to play with bland, boring gray Legos. I think what it said is that yellow was like the bricks that they had the most of. So they're just like, you know what? Yellow it is. And so they just started making it. I think a yellow castle is also a very 80s thing, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
Sure, why not in the 80s? You'd have a yellow castle. I mean, sure. Why not? With high tops jinx. You could do all sorts of stuff with that. But those two sets there, that classic space set, that classic yellow castle set. There was also a couple of sets that were like the Shell gas station is one that I had.
There's a gas station?
Oh yeah. And that was when they were doing sponsors. They had Shell as a sponsor, Shell Oil Company and Texaco, I think, at one point. And then they developed their own because I think they were paying for the thing. And some of those were bought out. And so they end up having developing their own called Octan or something like that, which was sort of interesting. That set right there. No, not that one.
This?
That's the set that I had. Yeah, Reilly's brought this up using the wonders of the internet, and so it had the little canopy or like the overhang, had gas pumps, the old style gas pumps, and
a lot of yellow and red.
Well, that was the Shell logo. That's what it was all about. Okay, all right. We're getting a little distracted here, as usually happens, and so I want to talk next about. So these are some of the classic ones. Let's talk about some of our most epic Lego builds that we've seen, particularly those that we've seen in person, right?
Oh.
In person.
I have.
Because the internet is full of things that we could have seen or would have seen. Your chair is very squeaky.
I know.
So what are some of the great classic or the mega builds that we have seen in person?
The city of Philly and Lego, probably. Something like that.
Yeah, so just recently we went to the Legoland Discovery Center that
in Philly.
Is in Philadelphia, or just outside of Philadelphia, I guess. And we went there, and they have this entire model of the city of Philadelphia with Lego. So there's City Hall, there's
different sports stadiums.
Right, so they have Citizens Bank Arena or Citizens Bank Park. They have Lincoln Financial Field, although they couldn't use the names, I think. So obviously they didn't have the permission to use the names, but that's essentially what they look like. So they had Independence Mall and the Liberty Bell. They had Betsy Ross's house. They had all of the other fancy buildings and skyscrapers that exist there in Philadelphia. That was pretty awesome.
It was very big.
And did you see the little news van that
traveling
around?
Yeah.
So it actually moved on its own, was not on wires.
Interesting. I wonder how they did that. I think I'm wondering if it was. So you said it moved on its own,
It did not have wires, and from what I recall, I could look back at our pictures here, but from what I recall, it did not have even a track that it followed. It just did it on its own there as it's moving all around, and of course I'm going to be a little delayed here. Yeah, so here's a photo. So as you can see, it doesn't have a track. You have sort of
tire tracks
and where it's been going on and on and on and on. But it doesn't have it doesn't have a track or a thing that connects it. So I'm guessing they did this with magnets.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's pretty awesome. That city of Philadelphia was pretty cool.
It was very.
All right, so what are some of the other things that we've seen? All right, so that's what we've seen in person. We I think when we used to have Toys R Us around, and Toys R Us actually had stores, there were a couple of things in Toys R Us stores that were some pretty awesome Lego builds.
I can always remember going to Toys R Us and just looking around the aisles and just ooh, look at that Lego set, and that Lego set. Ooh,
yeah, they had some pretty cool ones there. And then they would also have, what else? They would have these huge, not just a figure. Sometimes they had a figure, sometimes they had multiple figures that would be out. I'm sure. Oh, do you remember when we went to the Philadelphia Zoo and they had animals made out of Legos? And they gave us a little card that we could punch or get little stickers or something. And you go all around the Philadelphia Zoo and you can see this giant polar bear that was made of Legos. They were all outdoors, these Lego sets. Do you remember that? Or not sets, but these massive builds.
Figures, things. I think I remember doing that or seeing something like that.
Yeah, you were pretty young.
I was.
But we have pictures to show you so you'll remember.
Yeah.
All right, so what are some of the other most epic builds that you've seen?
Not in person?
Sure. Let's go outside of what we've seen in person.
Great Ball Contraption.
The Great Ball Contraption.
Now, what it is some context, is that Lego made these. Sorry. Lego made these mini balls.
You're getting emotional just thinking about it. I can tell.
Nose. It's my nose. Anyways, Lego made these soccer balls or basketballs. They're.
Yes, they did.
And you could roll them around and stuff.
They did like a sports thing or something. They were. I remember this.
And this one guy or this group decided, you know what? We can take these balls and using Legos and motors and everything else, we can make them move in a giant circle. And you might be thinking, well, that's nothing. But no, they take these modules. They call them modules. And everything has like a different theme. Like it's a conveyor belt, bringing them up and down, or it's a minecart, moving them all around the areas. It's crazy.
And it's all made with like Technics and
yes,
gears and motors and things. I've seen this. It's pretty awesome.
It's only Lego. Like it's not anything else. It could be Lego Mindstorms or anything, but it's all Lego.
And
like,
we were just watching something the other day that was, somewhat related to that, although not using these little soccer balls and things. But we were watching a YouTube clip where the guy takes the roller coaster set, the most recent roller coaster set that they have, that actually works on a motor, which is pretty awesome.
It is.
And he combined 10 of them.
Yes.
Which that alone is probably like several $1,000s just to buy that many sets. But anyway, I think he takes like 10 or 12 of them and he puts them into a massive roller coaster using just those sets, right? Just that roller coaster set, but 10 of them in order to make it work, which is just incredible. It was really cool. Well, actually, that's the one that they show in the video, but there's another one now, I think, that has like, it takes a little car and it moves it up. It has like a little elevator that moves the car up and then it goes all around. So it's a different roller coaster set, but they're still awesome and these incredible builds. All right, so for you, our listeners, I'm sure you have seen some amazing Lego mega builds and things like that. We'd love to hear your comments. You can post links in our comments here on our YouTube. And what are some of the most epic builds that you have seen that are just amazing and incredible that you love? And we'd love to check those out. Maybe it's a YouTube clip of somebody's mega build. Maybe it's a set, a proper Lego set. We'd love to hear about it. Please put that in the comments. We would love to chat and see what you have seen that are your most favorite epic builds. You found it. You found a new one, Reilly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It is. It's a loop coaster. I see. So it's basically a giant track that goes up and down, and then the cars just load up, and then it brings it up, and then the cars just fall down the track, and it does like two loops? Yeah, 2 loops, and it goes back to the start until the track comes down again, and it can pick it up. So it's very interesting.
I see. So it does upside down loops. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, $400 US, that's a little pricey. So, yeah, okay.
Definitely.
All right, I think we should go to break. And
I agree.
I think we should go to break, and I need some water, that kind of thing. But I think when we come back, I want to talk about what it's like. It's kind of like what my dream would be with Legos, and something that maybe we'll start working on here at the house. But I want to talk about a certain 4-letter word. So when we come back from break, we'll talk about that. All right?
All right.
All right. We'll see you after the break.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. This is Steve, your host for The Weirdly Random, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to mention our social media platforms so you can join us and find us online. We're on the Gram or the Instagram at The Weirdly Random. We're also on Facebook as The Weirdly Random as well. In addition to our YouTube channel, you can listen to the show now on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, just by searching for The Weirdly Random. And we're hoping to add more podcast options soon. No matter how you listen, we hope to have more people just like you join the Weirdly Random family. Lastly, we're looking forward to launching our own website with other show notes and other things at theweirdlyrandom.com, but more on that soon, we hope. So that's all for now, and we look forward to chatting with you online. Thanks so much. And we are back from the break, the Lego break here. We're back. And so in the first half, we were talking about, Reilly, we were talking about our most epic Lego builds. We were talking about the history of Lego, some different sets and things like that. There's so much that we could talk about with Lego. So I think that we could make several episodes just related to Legos. But what I want to talk about here for the second half is this thing that Lego has started to do where they've really begun to embrace the adult fans of Lego, or as some say, the A-fols. Not A-fool, but A-fols, A-F-O-L-S, adult fans of Lego. And what's been so encouraging and so neat about this is that so many of us, myself included especially, we grew up with Legos. We grew up playing Legos. We grew up building with Legos, these epic, amazing sets that we've seen in Legos. And now we're older and we still love Legos. We still love using Lego as a form of entertainment, a form of leisure, a form of art. And so that's what I just absolutely love about what Lego has done. They've embraced that. It's no longer, Lego is no longer just a child's play toy of building bricks. And so now they've begun marketing to adults with these 18 plus sets like we've talked about. They have the Titanic set, which is just a massive box. They have the mosaics, the world map. They have these other things, the Beatles, where they are portraits. That's what they are, of these little dots and studs and tiles and things like that to make these art forms, these canvases. So and really the adult fans of Lego. Do you remember this, Reilly? When the Lego movie came out, the first Lego movie, they actually called in a bunch of adult fans of Lego, A-fols, to come in and help construct the basement that was in the house, you know, for the boy and his dad and all this kind of stuff. Those were guys that were the kind of the Lego, not amateur creators, not they weren't. I don't think they were employees of Lego. I think they were these adult fan of Legos that are out there in the world creating things. I mean, do you remember that?
I think so, but Lego didn't know how to Lego, so they brought other people to Lego.
Was that a pun?
I don't know.
I think it was an attempt at a pun. No, they did this so that way they wouldn't have to pay Lego to do it, right? They wouldn't have to pay their people to come out to the set and do this. They could bring in these amateurs, not amateurs, because they're not amateur by any means, but they are, experts. These are creative masters of their craft of building Legos. And so what I've seen online, and this is, I love to do this on Pinterest. I love to do a search for this and basements or spare rooms, what people have put together as their Lego building rooms, right? There are these rooms that people have crafted with shelves and bins and drawers, workbenches for their Lego bins. And that I would love to create one of those here at the house. I mean, that's what, if we had a spare room, that's what I would do. These shelves, these drawers, kind of filling the room so that I could sort all the Lego pieces by type, by color, and And so there's been some amazing things out there on Pinterest. Have you seen some of those?
No, because I can't do anything on Pinterest because they say you have to have an account. So
I think you could Google some of those kind of things like
That's true.
Lego rooms or Lego organization, storage systems, sorting tables. I mean, I love that.
yeah. Half Asleep Chris, I think you talked about one of his videos before. He literally has several rooms just filled with like these Lego sets that he hasn't built yet. He's just he literally says we like sacrificed one of the bathrooms to just be the Lego set area. There's just Lego sets stocked into the ceiling. If you open the door, you get an avalanche of Lego sets. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I'm not so much looking to store sets that I haven't built because every set I built. I'm looking for like to take the display. Well, I would love to have a display room. Yeah, once I build them, I could keep them together and put them on a display case where they don't get full of dust and they have lights and LEDs and all that kind of stuff. That would be awesome.
That'd be my dream.
But also, I'm talking about the Legos that I have that are like the bin of miscellaneous Legos, and put them together in such a place where that's usable. Right now, they're all just in these bins.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people on the interwebs that have they have this desk, like you said, and they have like tons and tons of like drawers by them, and all they have to do is just like, I don't know, put a sticker on there, and it just says this colored piece and this shape, or like this shape, and you have to just find the colored piece you want, and then it's just like you just have this just room. So if you say, oh, I need this specific piece, you just be like, oh, there it is, and then you open the drawer, pick out your color and just put it in.
You know, it's interesting you talk about stickers. There's actually a site that has a label system. It's a file of the labels that are doing exactly what you just talked about, that have all of the different individual Lego pieces sorted on a label for each piece that you can print off on specially marked, special type of labels and put on your drawers. Yeah, something like that, where you can actually print them by type, by number, because every Lego brick has a number, and then you can print them so that you could put them on these little drawers or storage systems and that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly like that. Reilly's bringing this up on the interweb here about labels and things like that, putting them on little bins and drawers and things like that, which is just absolutely incredible.
It shows what Lego number it is, the title, and the small little picture of what it is.
Yeah, and then you could do, you know, I mean, and that looks like a black and white picture, but then you could do it by color too, which is just awesome. So that's what I would love to do. I would love to do that, to sort out the bricks. I mean, just to get them out of my closet for one.
And it would just be extremely satisfying.
It would be to have this whole room. I mean, these Legos, you can't see this, but on the other side of our camera, and this is an audio podcast anyway, but on the other side of this room, these are all your Legos. I mean, these are the sets, some a little bit of Connor's, but you know, your brother's, but most of these over here are your sets. Mm-hmm. There's some organization to them.
Like colors that are separated by pieces of cardboard, but there's a bit of
There's
separation.
Also some sets that we've put into bags, so we know that this set, the extra pieces, and if that set's been disassembled, we put all of that into one bag, so we don't have to try and search through
the millions of pieces.
Millions and trillions of Legos in order to find them. So I never did that with a lot of my sets. I've done that with my Lego Ideas sets, which I think we'll talk about Lego Ideas at another time, just how amazing and incredible that is. And even what some of the current sets are, I think, that are up for voting. But anyway, I would love to sort the Legos in that way, because otherwise, what ends up happening, right? We get a set, we make it, it comes apart, pieces get lost, whatever. We can't ever rebuild it. Then I have to buy spare pieces from the Lego site, or they get mixed in with everything else, and then
it just becomes a hassle to find.
There's just no chance we're ever going to find it because we have so many. There was a couple of other sets I was thinking that these adult fans of Lego have made, and these are the guys that go to the conventions. These are the guys that are making these things. There was a massive Harry Potter castle, like much bigger than the set that Lego produces and sells. Like, this is a massive, massive set. There's also a set here that is a cityscape, just a huge, huge cityscape with road pieces and working bridges and working trains. That is incredible. There's a couple of guys on Instagram that have made these, and it is it's awesome. It is really awesome. They have working railroad crossings and bridges and all sorts of stuff. And I mean, it's all made of Lego bricks. So even the water, the bricks that are holding the city up, like the rocks, all that kind of stuff is all individual pieces, which is really amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy what people can make.
And one of here's a tip, so that if we ever get to making our own, right? There is actually a secret, a best practice that if you were to make these massive sets, you don't need to do it all with individual Lego pieces. You use Duplo bricks.
Yes,
because they're they connect.
Yes.
So a 2x4 Duplo brick is the same as 8. It is the same as 8 2x4 Lego bricks.
Yeah.
So if you were to take those Duplo bricks, you build them up inside to build your support structure, and then you can build around it with regular Lego bricks to create these awesome, incredible, epic builds, which is really, really awesome.
And so it's not hollow, and
Right.
2, you don't have to spend as much money just buying bricks or just
And
spending
Duplo bricks
time.
are lighter.
Yes.
So it's not as heavy when you're trying to transport and all that kind of stuff. If you're trying to take it to convention or whatever, So that's really awesome.
Also, if it falls on the floor, it's a lot easier to rebuild than just because if it falls on the floor and it breaks apart into several pieces, it's like a jigsaw puzzle to try to put it together. But with Duplos, the top comes off. Oh, that's fine. I know that since this is an indent, this connects into the other Duplo piece.
Sure.
And it all just
you could actually build like a system of how to rebuild it based on your Duplo bricks that are on the inside, right? So to help make it fit together. Yeah. Another set that I saw, which was really neat, made by some of these adult fans of Lego, these guys are like my heroes, I think. What these guys do, what these guys make, their rooms, their dedication, their devotion to Lego and to creating these master art forms. Somebody made a Lego Settlers of Catan set that was not just a flat playing board, but was three-dimensional. So the mountains where you get the ore pieces, the plains where the sheep are, all that kind of stuff. It is three-dimensional in some degree, and you have your individual pieces and your cities and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really awesome, and it's playable. The idea is that this is a playable version of Settlers of Catan made out of Lego bricks, which is just nuts.
Looking at these pictures on the Lego Ideas site.
So there's the structure.
Yeah.
So there's the underlying structure. We're looking at this photo, and the underlying structure is like a grid system of these hexagonal tiles or hexagonal pieces that kind of fit in, so that the base plates that are your individual landscape or terrain tiles, you can drop them in, and it will fit within that grid, which is awesome. And it has 8,000 subscribers or supporters. So they need 10,000 before Lego considers it. But that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool that you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to transition here a little bit. We're kind of getting here towards the end before we start talking for too long. I think we should wrap this up. If you could say, Reilly, if I could have your attention back here for just a moment, what would you say? What are some of your closing remarks here about Lego, favorite things, about Lego that you would want to share today as we're talking, as we're in this discussion, this conversation here?
Some closing things?
Yeah. What are some things that come to mind for you that something you'd want to share? What's your favorite set, or something you just overall appreciate about Lego that you want to kind of send us off with here?
Lego Mario.
Oh, okay.
The Lego Mario set has given a small glimmer of hope for some of us who really want them to make different Lego Nintendo sets. There have been so many attempts to make a Zelda set that have just been turned down by Lego, and now that Nintendo and Lego have made a deal and we have an official Lego Mario, Luigi and Princess Peach, who knows when we can get a Lego Link set, I don't know, something, Metroid, what's the other famous, Pokemon, I don't know. Well, Pokemon has already another thing with Mega Blocks, but anyways.
Yeah, okay, so what you're referring to here, again, Lego Idea sets, a lot of fans have put out there have proposed some concepts for The Legend of Zelda, another one of our favorites here on the Weirdly Random, a huge favorite of ours. And fans have put together sets, these proposed ideas regarding The Legend of Zelda that are all made of Lego. So the Hyrule Castle, stables, etc., all sorts of stuff. And what they did with the Lego Mario sets is they actually partnered with Lego. And I don't know if you know this, but you could probably surmise this, is that the Lego Mario sets, the Mario, the Luigi, the Princess Peach that have the electronic component in that, Nintendo designed that piece. My understanding is Nintendo, I keep saying Lego because it is Lego Mario, but Nintendo designed the interactivity part, the electronic piece that sits inside the base Mario, Luigi, Peach set, and then Lego built the shell and sort of the rest of that around it. Nintendo built the interactive piece, the sensor, I think. Although Lego does some of that too with their Mindstorms and things like that, but it will read the color and interact and create really a game. The idea, I think, was not just to create Lego Mario sets, but to create a Lego Mario game that was interactive, that allowed the person, the builder, to build those sets out of and customize it, to build your own Lego Mario world to play with and earn points, and there's an app to go with it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
The other thing too is with that, I mean, they have the app that goes with it to play the game. Lego recently has done a lot of work with some mobile apps. They have Lego Tower. They have some other apps that are all Lego designed, created.
Like the Lego Mario one.
That's what I was just talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
But they have the Charge. I don't know if it's called Lego Charged, but to control the trains.
Yes.
It's to control the motion component. The motor component works over Bluetooth. Really cool.
I think there's different. I think there's the Hogwarts train, City train, Disney train. Then it's not always trains. I think there's the Lego Batmobile, the piano.
Yep, some of those.
And a haunted house.
There's a few, and what's great about it is that even if you have those sets and buy those sets, you can modify and customize and create your own things that move, and just use the motors to kind of create what you want, which is really cool. So Lego Mario sets, very cool. Be really interested to see what they do, particularly now that they're making the Mario movie, right? So it'd be really interesting to see what Lego does. Are there going to be sets designed? Here's a question. What do you think about this? What do you think about this idea? Do you think Lego will do this? Rather than continuing with their current Lego Mario sets with the interactive Mario, Luigi, and Princess, okay? you bounce around, you land on the little barcodes, interactive, earn points, that kind of thing. Do you think, and would you want to see this, that Lego would make regular play sets,
like normal minifigs?
Normal minifigure scale for the new Super Mario movie?
I think they would. I think they would.
I think that would be really smart.
That would be good for AFOLs, but they could also do like a smaller kids version with maybe, I don't know, a new costume for Mario to make it look
they could do
more accurate.
3 sets, 3 levels, 3 tiers. Because you know how they have like, actually you could do 4 if you were to count in what they do with Duplo. But if they created an adult set, an 18 plus set, or a 16 plus set, right? Then you have your normal play sets that are probably around like 12 years old or something like that. To create a set for that, right? Then beyond that, what if they sometimes create like these easy sets for ages 4 to 8 or something like that, right? So they create sets like that. They did that with the Toy Story set, where they had like easy builds and car sets that were easy builds, still regular Lego scale, not Duplo sets. And then they made a Duplo set. So you have like a Duplo, an easy build, regular Lego set, and then your 4th set is like an adult fan that's where you create the massive Bowser that doesn't necessarily have to interact with the electronic Mario. It's just a massive build. I think that could be really, really awesome. So that's kind of what you're hoping for. That's what you're looking to see is Super Mario, more Super Mario sets, and that's kind of what where your thing is.
Yep.
All right, so Reilly, let's talk about. We've seen these massive landscapes. We've seen settlers, and Mario. We were just talking about Mario. I love the Lego Mario thing. With the new movie coming out, all that. But let's talk a little bit about Minecraft. Like, Minecraft in Lego, they have the Lego sets out now, but I don't know if I've ever seen this, where they have these massive cityscapes or Minecraft worlds made out of Lego. I mean, have you seen anything like that?
I don't think so. But I've seen like a bunch of people making these small Minecraft sets. But I think it would be kind of cool to like just make one on my own. I think that would be really
using some of the purchase sets, or do you mean like those as obviously there's the minifigs and there's certain pieces that Lego made.
Yeah.
Specifically for the Minecraft world. But you're talking about like what I'm talking about too, and I think we're talking about the same thing, is creating this huge set display, that you would go to conventions and things. It's all made out of definitely the Minecraft style of building, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, like something. I am stumbling. I was thinking of like Minecraft makes trees, houses, the minifigs. They make the Ravagers, the pigs, the sheeps.
Oh, could you imagine like all the little action scenes you could make?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
So you have this massive world. Let's say it's like the size of this room or whatever. So you have like a village over here, and you have like the pillagers and the raiders and all, they're coming in. But then you have like, maybe then over here you do like a night scene. You put some black lights on it. And you create like a night scene. That's where you have the spiders and the creepers and the zombies and the skeletons come out. And then then you have like a whole nother, maybe you use a big curtain, or you do something with black lights and some really cool neon lights or whatever. And imagine then you create the Nether.
Yes.
And you create a whole section and with LED lights or whatever. And now you have like the hanging gas, and you have all these other things that could be so cool.
And something.
And not just, maybe even not like, so the dragon. Let's talk about like the Minecraft dragon, right? The Ender Dragon. The set that you build, I feel is like this tiny little scale of like what the dragon could be. Like the dragon could be the size of this table that you suspend and hang, and create this huge set. I mean, that could be awesome.
That would. And I can just imagine if someone were to actually make that. And be like, little kid walks into like a Lego convention. He's just like, I wonder what they have. So he's like exploring around, and then he just sees the Lego Minecraft dragon. He's just like, whoa, that's the Ender Dragon. He's that's crazy.
Maybe it's life size or something, but certainly way bigger than minifigure scale.
Yeah.
This huge dragon that really is like overwhelming. Something that is just massive scale, but is so intricate, and all these other things in the Nether and in the world, the Minecraft overworld, all that could be incredible.
Yeah, and the dragon, I would say, I don't know the scale. I'd say it's about as big as like an iPhone 12 or whatever phone it is. It's big, and to a minifig, it'd be relatively like big size. It would be like pretty big. It's like 3 times the size of a Lego minifig. But scale that up like 4 times the size, or not 2 times, like 3.5 times the size or something. And it's huge. Like thousands, millions of pieces.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you were to take something that was convention worthy, like some of these other sets, like we were just talking about earlier in the first half, we were talking about the Discovery Land where there's the model of Philadelphia, right? So imagine something that scale, that big, maybe even bigger, more expansive, that's minifigure size. But now you suspend this dragon, not just 3 or 4 times, but this dragon is like huge.
Oh no.
The size of the table. Now, here's another thought. And I don't know if anybody's done this. We haven't searched the interwebs for this, but maybe we will do that, and we'll report it back in the next episode or a future Lego episode or whatever. But like, imagine if somebody made like 1-to-1 scale Minecraft, like crafting table 1-to-1 size. Made a furnace 1-to-1 size, not with real fire, but like a 1-to-1 scale of a furnace, of a sword, of all these things made out of Lego that look incredible, look to scale, look as detailed and intricate. I mean, that would be awesome. That would be convention worthy at Minecraft. Well, maybe they do it at these Minecraft fairs. I don't know. I've never seen that.
If you're looking for something like that, that's like a cubic meter, because Steve is like 2 meters tall. And a crafting table is 1 block, and Steve is 2 blocks tall. That's like a cubic meter. That is very, very big.
I know. It's huge. The scale and the implications of something that large are insane.
That would be Comic-Con worthy.
Comic-Con, Minecraft Con, whatever you call,
Minecraft Live,
whatever con you want to go to, that would be huge. That would be something that would be a photo op for sure to see all of this. Okay, those were supposed to be our closing thoughts, and we end up getting on some other tangents and things like that.
I was going to spring out a little more talking about other Minecraft things people have made, but
let's save that for the next episode.
Okay.
Now, our next episode, I'm not sure what we're recording for our next episode as we release, but I know this is only really part 1 of our Lego series.
Yes.
We'll probably do part 2, part 3, who knows. We'll keep talking. And maybe we can just have a conversation about this little piece of golden goodness, which is the piece separator tool, which is worth its weight and more in gold, which is just a fantastic little tool. I'm so glad Lego made this. We'll talk about this in our next episode, but love that piece. And we can even talk about how it's evolved over the years. I probably have an original Lego piece separator tool that was gray, kind of a wedge-like. But anyway, so we want to hear your comments, and what are some things you think what would you love to hear our listeners comment about here from this episode?
Like you said before, like what big things they have seen, and what if some really interesting or some cool like Lego ideas that they may have thought of or just seen. Like, you want to see what you guys have.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what some of their ideas are, or some of the things that they have seen on Lego ideas. And we'll talk about that in another episode. We talked about it in our first episode, I think, too. But maybe there's some out there that our listeners have actually supported before they were a set. Maybe they've bought those sets. Maybe some sets they'd love to see. But that would be awesome. Just a reminder, if you like today's episode, be sure to hit that like button, and you can subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. Much appreciated. If you're listening to us on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, please be sure to leave a review. That really helps with the algorithms. I understand of how people can find the show, what's suggested. Listen to us. We're available on Spotify for our audio episodes, on YouTube, and we are on
Apple Podcast, iTunes.
Apple Podcast or iTunes, whatever they call it. I haven't figured out. I think we're on Google Play Podcast. I'm not sure. That I have to look up too. We are on. You can post some of your favorite builds and things. You can tag us on Instagram. Find us there at The Weirdly Random on Instagram, and we're on Facebook as well. You can also use a hashtag The Weirdly Random. We'd love to see your Lego builds, your Lego storage systems. Maybe you have a Lego storage system and you're one of those fantastic heroes of mine out there that has a huge Lego storage system and whatever. And maybe how you're living out the Lego life. Maybe it was Halloween recently. I'd love to see, if you did a Lego build or a Lego costume, we'd love to see that too. Tag us for that too. That would be amazing. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter whatever, but thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us today here on The Weirdly Random. My name is Steve.
I'm Reilly.
You're Reilly. And our tagline here as we close out, as we say, remember.
Stay weird, be random, and never fail to be kind.
Yeah. So we'll do it together, and then we'll say jinx afterwards or something like that, right? So we're gonna stay weird, be random. Let's count off. This is such a joke. Ready? Stay weird, be random, and never fail to be kind. All right. Auf Wiedersehen.